Good evening. Welcome to another edition of New York by Dark. Uh, the scene is set at Penn Station, Pennsylvania Station in New York City, uh, down in the bowels of Amtrak as the Obelisk disembarks a train um, and makes his way up the stairs and through Penn Station, through the throngs of people with the assaulting aromas of the food of the kine um, wafting through his advanced olfactory system. He's wearing a black suit um, and a dark hat, um, but his pale skin um, and dark eyes and huge stature um, kind of stick him out from the crowds, and he might get a couple of glances from the armed military people who are guarding the train station as he makes his way up and onto the street in front of Madison Square Garden, where taxis are pulling up and spewing forth multitudes of people as they swarm up and down the Penn Station steps, scurrying to and fro on their mortal rat race. Um, and he just kind of starts looking around, surveying his new hunting grounds.
Levesque, for her part, well, because Levesque's handler isn't too familiar with the geographical topography of New York City, we'll just presume that Obelisk will be in somewhat close proximity to one of the clubs or one of the establishments where Levesque likes to frequent. These places aren't exactly, shall we say, places of repute, but they're places where anyone of any particular, shall we say, alternative tastes can go and indulge themselves with whatever it is that they like to indulge themselves with, because these types of things are quite indulgent, which makes no sense as a sentence, but we're going to go with that. Yes, Levesque, for her part, she's just sat in her own little corner looking out into the streets of New York City from the booth. She's wearing like one of these full body catsuit type things. Whether it's PVC or leather, I have no idea, because I don't own one of these things, nor do I particularly want to. But for the sake of for Levesque's sake, she is wearing one of these things. We'd say that she's dressed to the nines, but nines has a completely different meaning for someone like Levesque. And yeah, she'll just considering how stereotypical she looks, it's kind of a case. It's more a case, should I say, that if one was so inclined, you could see her from space.
Oh, I see.
Yes, that's the stereotype flaw there.
All right. Well, assumingly they will see each other, and Obelisk is, looking like he does, giving off his inhuman aura. Might I don't know if he, out of character. That's not a game mechanic. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He's creepy. He has eerie presence and touch of frost, and he looks like that. So, he'll probably lock eyes with her for a second, with his dark irises and pupils, staring deadly like a shark, perhaps. And I'll spend a point of blood and activate first level auspex as the inside of his nose starts to like shift. Like you can't see it, but I guess like the flesh inside his nose will start to change on its own as he attunes himself to smelling the blood of the mortals and smelling that she does not have any of that, perhaps except for in her stomach. He'll approach the booth.
Levesque will probably, upon seeing the fellow predator, she will naturally, it'll be off-putting to begin with, but eventually she will somewhat relax and like lean back into the booth. I was going to say putting the goods on display, but then she realizes that perhaps this canine may not necessarily be quite that way inclined. Interpret that how you will. So when they slide into the booth themselves, she responds by giving them the greetings that they presume. And she has there's one thing that Obelisk will notice is that she has a very, 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 very thick French accent. Salut, my fellow creature of the night.
Good evening, sister.
It's always good to find a fellow traveler on this roads that we walk. My name is Levesque.
I am called Obelisk, Templar of the Smis, Ductus of the Sanctus Perfectum.
Then I will give you my more formal introduction. I am Levesque of the Lost Boys. From where do you come from, monsieur?
I have recently arrived in this city from Mexico City at the behest of my archbishop down there.
I am from Montreal, personally, but my pack brought me here. And, well, there has been much interesting occurrences occurring in this city. So that is my role, to investigate and to study and create further artifacts for the war effort. I am also a qualified priest.
I didn't really hear what you said. He broke up a little bit.
Oh, for fuck's sake. What part did I break up?
It's better now. I don't know, like the middle of your sentence, last sentence.
And now I've forgotten what I was going to say. Anyway, can we continue?
Yes, sorry. Did you ask me a question, though?
No, she didn't. She just said, there are strange things going on in this place, and that's kind of what she's interested in, strange things.
Yes, the mysteries of our condition are what drive my mind as well. Oops, can you see that? Probably, right?
Yes.
Oops.
Yes, please. You should. Have you got Manycam?
I was just screen sharing.
Oh.
Manycam like blocks off the bottom of my overlay. I'm gonna put it back up and It'll be all right. Everything will be fine.
Aye, aye.
Everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine.
Quite fine. Like a fine
Fine.
wine.
Very nice. I do realise that I'm going slightly in the Borat direction with this accent, though I'm not intentionally doing that.
All right. There we go. All right. So, where was I? We have been gifted, those in my clan, the mastery over our curse. It is our duty to see it through as the eldest has and achieve the perfection so that we can be like unto Cain.
Mm-hmm. For me, there is many mysteries in the world, many unanswered questions, certain realities. I seek to understand all of them and to find ways to weaponize these secrets for the betterment of the Sod of Cain. And for myself also, but mostly for the Sod of Cain.
Of course, our condition is a selfish one. Make no mistake. Those that are deviant from the path are of little use.
Interesting. Perhaps you would enlighten me as to which path that you walk, monsieur.
There are many paths that the children of Cain may walk and achieve the same ends, so long as they do not succumb to the fetters of those created before the flood. Personally, I am a paragon of the path of metamorphosis, as is fitting of my clan.
Oh, I have heard a few things about this philosophy. A very mutable one, no?
It is not one, though it is favored by my clan, it is not one that is exclusive to us. The subordinate members of my pack are also adherent to it, and neither share my exact blood.
Oh, very interesting. I myself am being educated in a number of these philosophies. I have yet to decide which one I wish to follow, but my education continues, and I do believe that within a very short time, I will find such a philosophy to embrace in my own life. My pack doctus, my pack priest, both follow the philosophy of the path of Nat. I am understanding of the inherent corruption in this world and how it can be used as a weapon to find purpose for the Kenite.
One thing must be made abundant. You will not survive in the sword of Cain, clinging to your humanity. Find a path and adhere to it, but make sure it is one that the tenets are something that you believe in, or are something that you can get behind and you're behind, because to simply follow a path that you may have of how to live your life is no or on life is no different than being the sycophant of the antediluvians.
Hmm.
You must find a philosophy that rings true with what left you have of your spirit.
Wise words, monsieur. I will take them into careful consideration in due time.
Nods maybe like a quarter of a centimeter.
Very exact.
Yes, just a very tiny nod that you're not sure if it's even a.
So, monsieur, how can I help you tonight?
I am searching for another sister within the Sword of Cain. And out of character, I'm viciously Facebook messages to find out what her name is.
Any clues that you can give me?
I have it somewhere. She's like a bishop, I think.
Oh, that's Blair.
Yes, that is. Yep, yep. She goes by the name of Blair.
Uh, yes, I know of her. We recently had an spot, and she has given me some direction. Perhaps the matter that she is directing me towards perhaps may be of interest to you.
And what is that?
Long ago, there used to be, how can I put this? A repository of knowledge in a certain university. This university was under the influence of the Camarilla.
And Levesque will turn to one side and mock a spitting motion.
Eyes will flash a bright luminescent red that lights up the booth for a brief second at the mention of the Camarilla.
This repository was under the control of Zitonia.
And Levesque will also give another theatrical spit to the ground.
And then as she does that, Obelisk's face will kind of harden a little bit. And he says, Requiescat and pace salubri, usurpantium recognoscentem peccatis, nunquam lava mundare.
Which Levesque will... She'll look a little bit surprised at first, but then she'll softly kind of nod her head.
Isn't that all?
No, I'm trying to think of where to go with her little diatribe.
Bishop Blair believes that this place was abandoned. Though there is no certainty given the presence of our enemies in the city. They believe that a investigation of some description is necessary, and if information becomes apparent that this place is a repository for this forbidden knowledge for our enemies, then it will become a place where an assault will be necessary.
He'll nod slightly again. It is my duty as a Templar to assist in any assaults the bishop deems necessary. I must find this Bishop Blair
Perhaps when you do, I will find my own bishop, Bishop Serenity, who is also my packmate. I shall tell them of you, Monsieur Obelisk, and of your desire to help us with this matter. Perhaps we can investigate together, and, if necessary, we shall fight together.
Um, He I'm trying to think of how to like respond to how he would respond to that actually. I guess he'll give another slight little nod and then he will say, if indeed we do fight side by side, I advise you to give me a wide berth.
Of course, monsieur.
He will look around some more before we're in like a nightclub, right?
Yeah.
He'll notice like I guess like a group of intoxicated young women start to like get up, uh, I guess to go to like a different bar or club or something, and they're all like stumbling and stuff, and he'll kind of like put his hat uh, tilted up so it's kind of on resting on the back of his head, very hipster esque, and he'll turn his back to the girls, and he his flesh starts to like bubble and twist before your very eyes, but his hands are just resting on top of the table, and his complexion will, it'll more of like a normal hue. Hair will start growing from the top of his head, and you'll notice if you hadn't before, he's completely hairless and start to grow as well. And he just he makes himself really tall, like young than the former alienish beast before you. Um, and he will say in a different voice now, like more of like a lighter, sweeter voice. And I shall bid you a good evening, sister, as I am quite famished. I believe my meal is attempting to get away.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will not delay you any further, monsieur.
He gets up. He stalks out after the group of women at a distance. And I'm going to end the scene there.